So, yeah.
Oh, all right. Hi. Welcome to our second episode here of the chaotic world of mom life. My name is Christina.
I'm Holly. This is kind
And
of
this
weird.
time we're going to try a video recording and see how it goes. We would like to kind of utilize YouTube a little bit more. So we're going to try and go this route. Well, we'll see what happens. So, Holly, tell me what's going on in your life right now.
Coffee, trying to survive, allergies. Yeah.
Yeah, allergies have been pretty rough. Been pretty rough lately, especially around here. Like every time I drive around now, it's just yellow on the ground.
My
It
car
hasn't
is
even really
completely
been
yellow.
raining that much, so
Mm-mm. I feel it in my throat. I feel all the
it's
nasals. Yeah.
yeah, it's been pretty rough. Yeah, it's been kind of mellow otherwise. Thankfully nobody, knock on wood, has been sick. I don't think that's real wood. Has been sick, so we've been able to avoid all of that. So, um, how were your in-laws on Mother's Day?
They're good. They're good. She had her parents over, and then my brother-in-law and sister-in-law were over there, so it was nice. I mean, I hung outside with my sister-in-law and the kids just because it was a beautiful day out.
Yeah.
And then just trying to deal with my children wanting their ways of things when others don't want it that way.
Yeah, I know it's hard because
Mainly
you
just
want
them. They don't
y-
agree on things, the kids.
the two of them together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I know it's hard. You want to give them what they want, but at the same time, you need them to understand that they can't always have it that way. But then you get sad when they get sad because it's such a short period of time that they're going to be this small. But at the same time, you don't want them to think that they can just get away with whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just such a back and forth.
And then with my oldest having all of her issues with ADHD, anxiety, OCD, and then my youngest, I don't want to necessarily say fine, but he doesn't have all that stuff.
Right.
So for my oldest, she has to do it a certain way. It has to be done like with your right arm, throw the ball that way, step with your left foot. And he's like kicking his feet back and throwing with his left arm and everything. And she's like, no, you're doing it wrong. It's all wrong.
And then he gets upset probably.
Yeah, and then they get into a nice little fight.
Yeah.
And I'm
So
just
she
like,
has to have it specific for everything. Like everything has to be like a specific, like done
in
the
certain
specific way.
cases, yes, we
Okay.
have been getting better,
Okay.
but it's still,
It's still hard. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah. And she's on medication, so that's been
yes.
helping.
And we
Yeah.
just upped her medication. So instead of 5 milligrams of Alexapro, she's at 7.5 of Alexapro.
Okay.
And that seems to be helping with the anxiety aspect. I really truly think the anxiety is what's taken over her life.
Right.
So adding that to it, there's
Well,
been a lot of decrease with things.
and you and I can contest that, anxiety can make you feel a whole bunch of things, and it can definitely make it can amplify so many other things that are going on in your body, like OCD or ADHD
Yeah,
or, other mental health issues. Anxiety really can amplify all of that, and make it seem worse than it actually is, or make it feel worse than it is.
yeah.
So I definitely think kind of starting there is a great idea. I know for me too, with like my ADHD, which I never realized I had until quite recently. Um, but my when I started my Zoloft, now we're going probably on 12, 13 years I've been on it. Like it has such made such a significant change in my life. It has, because it's reduced my anxiety. Other things have kind of calmed down as well.
Hmm.
And even though my ADHD is still, a little all over the place, and that needs to be addressed in a different I feel like it needs to be addressed in a different way. I feel
I
like
feel
just dealing with the anxiety part of it has made me be able to focus on everything else in my
yeah.
life.
No, I
So
agree with that.
that's huge.
I believe that I also have ADHD, just from
Yeah.
with my oldest figuring things out with her and learning more about every single type of thing that you can have.
Right.
Um, I know I've always had anxiety. After having my first, I went downhill with it even more. Was
Right.
unmedicated for everything, obviously. I was calling you in the middle of the night, early,
Yeah.
freaking out, asking for advice. Since being on roll off myself, I would say with the last like 2, 3 years has been so different.
Yeah.
Being at work where I've been for so long too, everybody's starting to notice between last year and this year of like, oh my God, you're almost like a different person. You're fun. You're really enjoyable to be around. Like you make us laugh, all this stuff. And I'm like, wow, I could have that four
Yeah.
year gap of not doing anything.
Right.
I
But
could
you
have
don't realize how bad it is when you're in it.
yes.
Like you have like it's so hard to like you don't feel right and there's something wrong, but you don't actually realize the severity of it and how bad it's gotten until you're a year or two out and you look back and you have people say things like that to you, or you just you can notice the changes in yourself, and it's really amazing. Like a couple years after I started taking it, I'm like, I can't believe I lived so long, like you said, without this help, because you were barely functioning,
Yeah.
and
Doing
it's
every little thing to
debilitating.
get by for the day. And then
Yeah.
questioning how the next day's gonna play out.
Right. And you're just everything just feels so out of control, but you're too exhausted to try and figure out how to fix it and how to make it better. And it's so overwhelming. I'm glad that, she's responding so well to the anxiety medication, because, at least for you and I, and you being her mom and dealing with it as it, already, it's a good way to kind of see that hopefully this trend of her doing well on the medication will do the same thing for her as it did for you, and just bring back her fun, carefree side.
Yes, she's definitely being more adventurous with things and like she used to love being outside and for a solid 2, 3 years, she's 7 now, but for a solid
Right.
2, 3 years, she did not want to be outside. She did not want to touch the ground. She was terrified of bugs, terrified of the birds, any loud sounds.
Okay.
And just like if the wind blew the wrong way, she would freak out and had to be inside.
Right.
Now, like I said, Sunday on Mother's Day, we were outside all day long. Not a care in the world. Getting dirty in the sandbox, going down the slide when there's bird poop on it. Like,
She wasn't over analyzing everything. She was
mm-mm.
so
She
not
was just
bothered.
being a kid, being in the moment.
Right. That's amazing. So I'm curious. I'm wondering, like, how many other kids are dealing with this, now that, or, parents that are kind of in the thick of it, wondering why their kid has become so reclusive and so, so in their shell and not knowing like what to do about it. And I know for a while you were trying to hold off on the medication.
Yeah, so it was when she was 2, I noticed that something wasn't right with her.
Right.
We were throwing our body into the wall or onto the floor, just screaming or sleeping with 50 plus stuffed animals in our bed and not being able to sleep and fall asleep. She couldn't calm her mind.
Right.
We did early intervention. We are still in outpatient OT. We've done speech because then we stopped eating due to texture and sensory issues, all that stuff.
Right.
And I just wanted her to learn to be able to self regulate and use all these different tools that we have learned now to, like I said, self
Oh,
regulate ourselves.
yeah.
But I did realize when she started school, even though I was so against medicine, even for myself, I couldn't let her suffer anymore. I was
Right.
at work the one night, my husband called me. They were supposed to go to his parents for dinner. And he was like, we're just staying home now. She's making herself sick. She's freaking out. She doesn't want to leave the house because of you. And I was like, why because of me? What happened? Because
Hmm.
I was at work and not home. And she was afraid that if she left the house,
Okay.
that she may not see me again. She knew
Oh,
I was
wow.
coming back home.
Okay.
And she loved her grandparents on both sides. It's not like they
Right.
were going to a new house, new people, none of that. All the
Right.
same old stuff. But because I wasn't home, she put herself in a panic attack.
She gave herself a panic attack. Yeah. And to be that young and to be that stressed out, like you obviously you made the right call, right?
Yeah.
It's
She couldn't
heartbreaking.
live life that way. I did not want
No.
her to be stuck in a house, always having to worry about others that she loves so much. If they're coming back home, if I'm not here and they come home, like, will I see them type of thing.
Right. Right. No, that's a lot, and that's a lot for anybody to deal with, a grown up to deal with. I can't even imagine being that young and feeling that kind of stress and anxiety because you and I have both been there and it's horrible. And to be that small and to worry about it is
Hmm.
not good.
No.
So I think that was definitely a great, thing. And like you said, you've seen such a change in her already with the
I mean,
medicine and
one of her ticks was like she would have to, we come in the front door, she would lock it. And it's fine, you lock the door.
okay. Right.
Put down her backpack, grab a snack, have to go unlock the door and relock it to make sure it was locked.
Oh, okay.
And if she didn't lock it, if like I did or my husband, she would have to go herself again, unlock it, and relock
And
it
lock it
just to
again.
make sure it was locked.
Oh, wow.
And I think it was part of because she has a bad separation anxiety. She wanted
Right.
to make sure nobody's going to leave without her giving hugs and kisses goodbye.
Wow.
But that has been since we started the Lexapro. That stopped. Like
That
she doesn't
stopped.
do that anymore.
Okay.
Yeah,
That was happening up
that's
until
been
recent.
recent. Yeah,
Wow. That's crazy.
she's been on Lexapro now for 1 year,
Okay.
and so it was last April. And I want to say by like October, November of last year is when she slowly started to not have to check the door,
Mhm.
not have to constantly come up and give me, I love hugs and kisses from my kids,
Right, but
but not have to
excessively.
constantly come up and give me a hug or give me a kiss in
Right.
case I was to walk out the door. Like just to take out the trash.
Right.
She
Oh,
would come
wow.
up and give me a hug, making sure that she told me she loved me.
Was she afraid something was gonna happen to you?
I don't know. She never really liked to talk about her emotions, how she
Mm.
feels. Now she's getting a little bit better. She's maturing more, understanding more.
Right.
Um, but I notice if I were to bring up conversations like that, she shuts down.
Okay.
I wait till she talks to me about it more.
Right.
And then, like, I have to be very careful with just how I word things with her.
Even still.
Yes.
Yeah. Does it seem like does she like get offended or does she just get like anxious about it and just stop talking?
I think more so anxious about it and then
Okay.
stop talking.
Hmm. That's interesting. And that stinks cuz she's only 7.
Yeah. Like a
Yeah.
recent thing that happened this year, I was at work during the day, came home. My in laws were over, they got her off the bus. We all had dinner together at our house. And then I was like, all right, it's time to go take a shower. So everybody was still here. I took her to the shower.
Mhm.
And my mother in law said, like, when she got off the bus, she was quiet, her head hurt her. And I was like, all right. As soon as we walk in the bathroom and I shut the door behind me, tears rolling down her eyes, her face, saying how she was nervous because a little boy in her class tripped and he cut his head open and that there was a lot of blood and just all these
Oh,
different things. So she
yeah.
didn't want to talk to anybody else about it. So she
Okay.
went like 3 hours of just
Holding that
not being
in.
herself.
Yeah.
She went through 3 hours of keeping that into herself, not talking to anybody. She's like, I went to the nurse because I tried to go home because I was just so nervous. I didn't feel safe. So I had to
Wow.
explain to her, like, it was okay. It was an accident. Like, nobody hurt him. He just
Right.
tripped over his own foot. It's okay. And just reassuring her that she is safe. She is okay.
Right.
They did let her teacher know, and her teacher said, like, she apologized. She was like, she did go to the nurse. I didn't know for that reason. I was like, that's
Okay.
how she is. She doesn't want to let others fully know.
That's a lot to hold in. Like, but you can see like when kids like are trying to hold things in from the day, like throughout the day, like even even my oldest, when I pick him up, he's 4 and I pick him up from school, and he's just, sometimes he's in a great mood, but sometimes he's just so drained from being so put together all day, like
Yeah,
having to listen and having to do all that. And he doesn't have OCD, or he has a little bit of separation anxiety, but still, it's just like having a kid. I feel like when they're in that position where they feel like they can't just release their emotions, it just makes them so different than how they
yeah.
normally act.
I mean, I, so we're in the process of trying to get her some extra help at school. Um, and I tell the teachers and the child study team, I tell them all, I'm so glad she can hold herself together
Right.
in school, that you guys don't see all the issues that I see at home. But
Right.
when she comes home and explodes, I'm like, I just
It's
can't.
hard. Yeah. You almost wish she could just kind of let it out little by little, not
Yeah,
that way she doesn't have that feeling of explosion and just letting it all out at the end of the day.
yeah.
Because that probably doesn't feel good for her either. Like if she learned how to, because she likes all of her teachers, right?
She
And
loves
everybody that,
school. She loves
yeah,
going. Comparing first grade to kindergarten, we were very close with her kindergarten teacher. They live right around the corner from us. So she would keep me updated on her throughout the day. But every morning it would be, I don't want to go to school. Can you pick me up early? I would get messages throughout the day. She misses you. She wants you to know that she loves you. First
yeah,
grade, no tears, so excited, wants to go to school, no complaints in school. Like,
that's awesome.
sometimes I'm like,
That's,
so do you miss me? But then I
yeah,
don't
right. You're
want
like,
that. Like,
so,
you would tell me all the time in kindergarten how much you love me and miss me, and I get no messages from the teacher this year.
oh, and it's like you're so happy that they're doing well, but at the same time, where's my where's
Yeah.
my affection?
So she comes
Oh,
home, and I give her like a good 15, 20 minutes to just decompress. She sits on the couch. She'll either watch a show, go on her iPad and call a friend, have a snack, or now that it's nice, I'm like, let's go ride bikes. Like, just something to unwind a little bit,
yes, yeah.
and then we can go on about the rest of our afternoon, just
Does she
sports
talk to you about
stuff.
her day? Because my 4-year-old does not.
No, I mean, if something crazy happened, or if she got like a prize because she completed all her stars, then
Right,
that,
like
but like
something out of the ordinary.
trying to pull it out of her.
Yes, yes, they don't like to talk about it for some
No.
reason. And when I try and ask him, he's like, he almost like she does. He almost shuts down. He just doesn't even want to talk about it. He just gets very. I'm like, did something happen? He's like, no. I'm like, so, and I'm trying to word it differently. Like, I know I always see people talking, like, don't ask your kids straight up, like, how was their day? Because then they don't talk about it like that. You
Yeah.
have to ask them very specifically, like, these very specific questions to get it out of them. Like, what was your favorite part of the day? This, that, and the other. And sometimes he answers, but most of the time he's just like, I don't know. And then he just runs off,
Yep.
and I'm like, okay, it's fine. I
Yep.
guess we'll wait
That's
till parent
it.
teacher night again. But yeah, so that's nice to hear that she's doing so much better now, and actually like feeling like a normal 7-year-old and able to enjoy herself.
I'm so just so proud of her with all the hard work that she's put in to realize certain things, especially like if
Yeah.
her and her brother get in a fight, she'll just be like, go away. I need a minute to myself. I want to be left alone. And I'll see her blowing her on her fingers to blow out 5 candles, and
Okay.
all the different techniques that she has learned from being at OT and just all her different therapists.
She's implementing them. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Which then I make sure, like at home, if I'm feeling stressed out, I'll take deep breaths
Right.
in front of them too, so that they see. And if like she'll come up and be like, "Mom, are you okay?" And be like, "Yeah, I had a rough day. I just need to take a few deep breaths." Or like, my house is always a mess.
They're all always a mess, don't
Be
worry.
like, I just
Mine
gotta get
is the
this
same.
house cleaned and
Yeah.
just
It
trying
never
to
it
be
never feels
calm.
like there's enough time in the day, but at the
No.
same time it feels like the day drags on.
Yep.
But like, and showing, and just like you, I try so hard to show them healthy ways to cope with the stress of it all, but I don't know, man, it's tough.
Don't get
It's
me
tough.
wrong. I do snap. And I know I shouldn't snap, but
We all do.
sometimes you gotta.
It's unavoidable. I know. I was taking my oldest to school today this morning, and we have, the ducks, and they were out all day yesterday in the yard because they like it when it's rainy and whatever, and they were walking around. So we were walking to the gate, and he goes, "What is this?" And I was like, "It's an egg." Because they must have just laid an egg where they were, but it was a soft egg. That the shell wasn't hard, so they need some calcium. I need to give it to them. But so I was like, "Yeah, it's an egg. Just leave it there." And what does he do? Steps on it.
Oh,
He lifts his foot up and he just stomps right on it. I was like, and I felt so bad afterwards, but I'm like, dude, I don't care that you got it on the sidewalk, like on the walkway, like the dogs will clean it, like I can hose it off. But I'm like, you're going to school right now. We don't have time to go in and get changed and clean up. I'm like, I just said leave it alone. I'm like, so why would you step on it? He's like, I didn't. And then I felt bad. I was like, I'm so sorry I yelled at you. I was like, I just didn't want you to get dirty. I'm like, we're already late for school.
that reminded me of the day years ago before kids. You guys were in Portugal. I had Pongo, your original dog, at my
Yeah.
house. I was getting ready to go into work when I worked at summer camp.
Oh, he was at your house?
He was at my house.
Oh.
He stayed the night at my house. I brought him back to your house, checked on the duck, and had him on his leash, took him out of the back of my car. Next thing I know, we see a bunny. He's dragging me down your yard, and it just got done raining. I was
Oh my
covered in mud. I
God.
was like, Pongo!
Oh my God.
Like freaking out on him. When we get inside, I clean myself up. I'm like, I don't have time for this, Pongo. And you can tell he was just looking at me all sad, and I felt so bad.
Yeah,
But
but
that was with a dog, not a kid.
but still, I know. It's like you feel in the moment, you're like thinking, why would you do these things? And then afterward, you're like, I'm sorry. I
Like,
just,
no, I don't have time, Pongo. We're already late.
yeah, right. Exactly. Totally sounds like something Pongo would do.
But then
Oh,
I
did I tell
still
you that a
wasn't that
bunny
night.
ran into my kitchen on Mother's Day morning?
Inside your kitchen?
Inside the kitchen.
No.
Right. I was standing by the sink, and all of a sudden I was talking to like my almost 3-year-old, and I was talking to him, and out of the corner of my eye I look down and I see something, and I'm like, oh my God. And I call to Zach, and I'm like, Zach, I think there's a bunny in the kitchen. And yeah, it
He
ran. I
can't do
think one of the
anything.
dogs or the cat or Arlo must have brought a
Wait,
bunny. It was still, no, it was alive. It was alive, but yesterday we got a dead bunny. Yesterday, Arlo brought back a bunny, and then one of the dogs tried to take it, so I had to pick it. I'm like, I'm not going to let anybody out of the house anymore if you guys keep bringing me back bunnies. I'm like, if they're
we're all
alive, it's
locked up.
one thing, but I don't want dead bunnies anywhere. Please stop. This is making me really upset right now.
Happy Mother's Day, Mom. I brought
I
you a dead
know,
bunny.
exactly. Oh my gosh, at least the one on Mother's Day was alive. I was like, thank God. I put it in the yard. It was panting for a second, in the front yard, and then it
I was
ran off.
terrified.
I wonder if it was the same one.
It was in a
I
human
hope
house.
not. I know. I
Get
was
me
like, you're
out.
in my kitchen. Oh God. So
Got any carrots?
yes, actually, my kitchen is my refrigerator is full of carrots right now. But I did give the chickens some watermelon for the first time yesterday, and they picked it clean.
Love it. Watermelon and pumpkin's their favorite.
Yeah. All right. Well, Hal, thank you for chatting this morning.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys, for listening. We'll be back again for episode number 3.
Bye.
Bye.